Hey everybody, Alan J. Bryson, motivational speaker, author, important educational specialist here to give you some insight for the incoming freshman year. So those who are attending college this year, these are some points that I want you to have and take with you. I do a workshop like this around the country for incoming freshmen at different universities, but I wanted to share this as a YouTube video as well to give you some insight, some of the key points of my presentation. So let's get started. It basically goes like this. These are the 15 keys that you need to determine, or 15 keys you need to have and establish to have a successful freshman year in college. Number one, relationships and responsibility. You have to be responsible with your relationships. Do not let love get in the way of your student success. So many times, one of the biggest barriers of college freshmen is that they fall in love, or they are in love with someone back home who didn't go away to college with them, or who is at another college, and that space or just whatever relationship problems occur that happens normally will impede on a student's academic success. So again, if you want to really truly succeed in college your freshman year, you have to make sure that you're responsible with your relationships. I'm not saying don't have a relationship, but I'm saying do not let heartbreak and love and just difficulties in your relationship mess with your grades. Everybody has breakups, everyone has relationship problems, but that should not determine whether or not you stay in school that semester. So again, don't let love mess with your GPA. Number two, understand why you are in college. Or I would like to say, understand why you're not in college. You're not in college to become a rapper, a model, an Instagram sensation, an overnight political figure, or a party beast. Or you're not there to gain the most followers on Instagram. You are there to get information that will develop you as a person and develop you as a student and to allow you to graduate. Operation graduation should be your number one priority when attending college. So it's nice to be on the gram and it's nice to have, followers and do things like that. But you have to make sure you are a student first. Student activities, they're called student activities, activities for students. Don't be so involved with activities that you forget that you're a student. If you get involved with student activities and they become overwhelming, you need to drop some of them. Again, understand and prioritize why you are at college. Number three, no back seat or back row living. I tell my students this all the time. So many times students feel afraid or intimidated and they sit in the back of their class. You will not receive anything favorable by sitting in the back of the class. You need to get your instructors to know and your professors to know who you are early. Very first day of class, you sit in the front. Very first day of class, you ask questions. But if you're sitting in the back with the hood over your head and you mumbling and avoiding questions and on your phone, you won't get anything favorable out of your college experience. You have to sit in the front row, and that's in everything. In the front row of your life, you need to sit in the front row. So every time you go to class, you need to sit in the front row. And if people look at you like, what are you doing in the front row? You tell them, I belong here. This is where I'm supposed to be. I'm a front row person. I'm a front row student. That's why I'm in the front row. Straight A students don't sit in the back. Students who get information from professors that will enhance their experience, study abroad, scholarships, research internships, those don't come to students who sit in the back. So if you really want to get the most out of your college experience, you can't sit in the back. You can't, and it will not help you. Number four, office hours. So many times students don't understand that office hours is the place and time to really get to know your professor. You don't get to know your professor while you are in class. You're basically just receiving information to consume and give back to him via a paper or an exam. But to really get to know your professor and really get to know some things about the field that you're trying to study, you need to go to your office hours. Talk to your professors. Find out what made them become professors. Professors love to talk about how they became professors. Get to know your professor. You never know where that could lead you. Just because something is optional does not mean it's okay to miss. Office hours are optional, but it's your responsibility to do well. And one of the greatest ways that you can do well is to go to office hours and find out some information about your professor or your class that may not necessarily come while in lecture. So make sure you go to office hours. Be open-minded, ladies and gentlemen. This is not your high school. This is not your neighborhood. You are going to be, for the first time, some of you surrounded by people who don't look like you, who don't speak your language, who are different from you in every aspect. They come from different backgrounds, different socioeconomic levels, and you have to be open-minded. In order to achieve in college, you have to form alliances with people from all spectrums. So if you're a Latino student, don't just go and hang out with the Latino students. If you're a black student, don't just go and hang out with the black students. It's okay to be around your own, but when you go to college, you need to hang around a bunch of different people because the information that you get may come from various groups of people. Understand, you have to be open-minded in terms of the way things are done in college. You have to be responsible. You are going to be held to a higher level of accountability. So in high school, they may have told you, well, be ready to study for the next exam. In college, you may get a pop quiz the day you walk in class. Never know. Be prepared and be open-minded. Next, be careful who you associate with. I always talk about this concept of anchors in airplanes. Anchors are basically things that hold you down and won't allow you to take off. Airplanes, on the other hand, are machines that take you up, take you higher, take you to your destination. Those are the two types of people in your life right now, and those are the two types of people that are going to be around you on a consistent basis in college. You're going to have people who are holding you down that are not allowing you to advance, and you're going to have people who are airplanes who are going to push you and support you and try to get you elevated to where you can become the best person you are. Now, here's the thing you need to find out and the thing you need to understand. Anchors in airplanes, the biggest anchors in your life are going to be the people closest to you. Yeah. Understand that. Some of your anchors are family members, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, some of your friends from the neighborhood, some of your friends that you meet down there, some people that, just don't really take college seriously. You may want to study and they may want to party all the time. Well, if that's the case, that's an anchor. You need to be around people that are airplanes, people who are going to help you advance and get you to the next level. So you have to understand and take a full inventory of the type of people in your life. You're going to have anchors and airplanes. You need to associate yourself with more airplanes than anchors. Also, stay on top of your deadlines. I can't stress this enough. Information that you do not know is your fault. I said it. Information that you are not aware of, that you are responsible for, is your fault. Not knowing is not an excuse. Not knowing is not a pass. You can't say, well, nobody told me. It didn't come via email. No. If there's a requirement in your class, if there's a requirement for an application for a scholarship, it is your responsibility to find out when the deadlines are. There is nothing worse than a student that has great potential who wants to apply for a scholarship and turns in the application on the 15th when it was due on the 1st. And they say, well, I didn't know it was due on the 15th. That's your fault. That's your fault. You have to make sure that you pay close attention to your deadlines. And also in college, your deadlines can flip at any time. You could come to class and the professor will say that the exam is on October 1st. Then you come into class another day and he'll say, well, it's been pushed ahead to, pushed back to September 20th. Now, if you weren't in class that day and the professor said it's due on the 20th, that's the exam, and you walk in on the 20th and not know that that's the exam day, that is your fault. Again, college will not remind you of your responsibilities. It will punish you for ignoring them. You have to make sure you understand your level of accountability and responsibility. You are in a grown up place right now. College is not a place for kids. It's not a place for people who need to constantly be reminded and carried and handheld and coddled. College is a rough place. It can be a great place if you know what you're doing. It can be a great place if you take advantage of what you need to do to get there. Okay? Next, you have to make sure that you understand that there are people on your campus who get paid to help you. There are administrators, graduate students, undergraduate students. There are people at your university who get paid to help you. They get paid to tutor you. They get paid to give you information about scholarships. They get paid to give you counseling and advising, writing assistance. They get paid to do that. You need to understand it is your responsibility and your privilege to take advantage of those resources. It is better to have help and not need it than to need the help and not have it. So make sure you take advantage of those people who are there to pay you. People are getting paid to help you. You need to help them or make them earn their check. Okay? Next, you also have to understand that you have to be, this should have been number one. Ladies and gentlemen, being smart is not the thing that is going to get you through college. I tell students all the time, the students who graduate from college the most are not the smartest students. Hear me again. The most successful students in college are not those who are the most intelligent. They are those who are the most resourceful. They are those who are the most outgoing, those who are the most eager, and those who are the best at navigating the alliances and navigating the area and the dynamics of the campus. You need to know how to talk to people. You need to know how to seek alliances and make alliances. You need to know how to get people on your side. You need to know how to talk to professors and get administrators to believe in you. So if you don't do that, that could really end in a bad situation for you. You need to understand that you have to be more than smart. Intelligent students and 4.0 students drop out of college as well. They have different reasons for it, but there are students who are incredibly smart who don't make it in college. So get that out of your mind, that just because you were the smartest student at your school that you're going to just coast through college. No, college is a different level and the stakes are higher and the game is on a bigger stage. So understand, you got to do something more than be smart, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be special. You have to be outgoing. You have to be talented. And I don't mean talent in terms of singing or playing ball or being able to campaign. You need to really have something special and something that you need to develop within yourself that people can see, that will allow them to help you get to places that you need to be. Next, college is not your mama. I have to say this again. Number 10. This is number 10. College is not your mama. College will not call you and say, did you go to class? Who are your professors? Did you get the homework? Did you take notes? College is not your mother or your father. College, again, will not remind you of your responsibilities, but it will punish you for ignoring them. So again, in order to succeed in college, you have to be responsible. You do not have the luxury anymore of saying, well, nobody told me or no one sent it to me via text or email. The information that you need to succeed in college is there. And it is your responsibility to make sure that you stay on top of that information. Don't get mad when things don't go your way. Get information. So many times students have a bad day and they get mad and they get angry and they get all in their feelings and they want to complain. No, don't get mad. Get the information that you need in order to make sure that you avoid that mistake again. Again, college is what we call a GUP. It's a grown-up place. A grown-up place for grown-ups. So if you want to succeed in a grown-up place, you're going to have to behave and carry yourself as a grown-up. Number 11, take your faith with you. Should have been number 1 as well. Whatever it is that you believe, whatever God that you pray to, whatever faith that you have, whether it's faith in yourself or whether it's faith in a higher power, you need to take that with you, because you are going to have some rough days where you're going to need more than just a hug from your mother or a pep talk from your dad. You are going to have to rely on something that is really going to carry you through tough times. And whatever that is, take that with you to college. So if you were a person of faith before you got to college, college will help you strengthen your faith, or it may make you go find some faith. Okay. Number 12, kick it hard, but study harder. We have a statement in our program that says, party like a rock star, but train like an assassin. That means that you have to have discipline in your studies, as much energy and fervor that you put into partying. So I would say reward yourself with the turn up. If you want to turn up, do it. But if you have not studied, what are you celebrating? What are you truly celebrating? So what I'm saying to you is, it's okay to kick it. It's okay to party. It's okay to go out with your friends, but make sure you have your responsibilities done first. I can't go an entire week without going to work and then Friday say, oh yeah, I'm going to go kick it. My wife will say, what are you celebrating? You haven't been to work. What is there to celebrate? The same applies when you are in college. You celebrate your accomplishments, but if you haven't accomplished anything, what are you really celebrating? And if you're not careful, you will celebrate yourself right off campus and back home with your parents. So make sure you understand that you have to study and apply yourself just as hard and with as much energy, if not more, than you do putting in the party. That was number 12. Number 13, get reading and writing ready. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not like to read, you do not like to write, college is not the place you need to be for the next 4 years. Everything you do in college will determine on how well you read and write. Everything that will be required of you is going to be done so in a form of writing and based on the information that you will have to read or lectures that you get from your professor. So if you are not strong in writing, get help, get assistance. Again, there are people at your campus that get paid to help you to write better. Take advantage of those. Don't sit back and say, I'm okay, I'm straight. No, you're not. You crooked as all get out. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, don't say I'm straight. Okay, most of the time the people who are straight, they're basically saying, I need help and I'm going to get that help that I need to get in order for me to be straight. But the 9 times out of 10, most of the folks who are saying, oh, I'm straight. No, they're not. Don't be one of those people. Again, make sure you know how to read and write. You are going to be getting tons and tons of reading assignments, and you're going to have to write based on what you've read. So if you're not strong in your writing, there are people at your campus that can help you get to those things and help you get to those levels of higher writing so you could do better on your exams and your papers. Now, pay attention to this one. Number 14. Greek life should never be the reason you do not graduate. Fraternities and sororities are great organizations to be in. However, if you are in a fraternity or a sorority and you don't have your degree, you, in my opinion, you have marginalized the power of your letters of your organization. Because one of the basic tenets of all of these Greek letter organizations that are on campus are to serve students so they can become successful people and college graduates. Don't go to college to pledge. You pledge to graduate from college. I say it again. Don't go to college to pledge. Pledge to graduate from college. Because in my fraternity, when we go out and do different things, the first thing that the young people say, what college did you graduate from? They don't say, what college did you pledge at? They say, what college did you graduate from? And there's nothing more embarrassing than not having a degree, but you have letters across your chest. That's just my opinion. Again, Greek life should never be the reason that you do not graduate. Alpha Phi Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Omega Psi Phi, Phi Beta Sigma, Kappa Alpha Psi, all of these organizations do not grant degrees. They will give you shingles and membership cards and status, but they do not give you a degree. When you go apply for a job or a graduate program, the committee will not say, what year did you cross? What year did you pledge? They will say, what school did you graduate from? They will not ask for your membership card in your fraternity or sorority. They will ask for the transcript that proves that you are a graduate of the university you attended. So again, do not let Greek life be the reason you don't graduate. Also, number 15, and I may have an extra one at that. Number 15, be wise this summer. Use your summers to do more than just get a tan and kick it. Use your summers wisely. You can get internships. You can study abroad. You can take required classes at a community college for a fraction of the cost. I had to take a stats course when I was at University of Illinois, and it would have cost full tuition. But what I did is I went home and took it for pennies on the dollar at Daily College. So what I'm saying is there are different things that you need to be doing that will develop you academically over your summer. Have a great time over the summer, but also do something that will prepare you. Some of my classmates graduated before their senior year because they accumulated so many credits in summer school that they graduated early. Keep that in mind. That could be something that you may want to do. But again, do things that are constructive with your summers, that are conducive and beneficial to your academic establishment and your academic identity and how you're going to be when you promote yourself out after graduation. And finally, I'm going to say this. Finally, this is the last one. This is actually number 16, but it's the last one, and it's probably one of the most poignant things I'm going to say. If you're paying for college, you're staying in college. If you are paying for college, you are staying in college. Do you understand that the worst thing you could do is go to college for 4 years, accumulate $37,000 worth of debt, and do not graduate? You have to make sure that the minute you take out a dime worth of student loans or the minute you get a dime worth of scholarship money, that university owes you a degree. Now, they won't give you the degree just because you're there and they've given you money or you've taken out money, but it is your responsibility to not leave that campus without a degree. The minute you take your first class, and the minute you take out your first student loan, or the minute that you get your first dollar for college, you are required to finish your degree. Do not be one of these people out here who are walking around talking about what college they went to or what fraternity or sorority they pledged and have no degree. Operation graduation is your number one priority. Operation graduation is your number one priority. You don't go to college to develop yourself as a person. That happens as a benefit to going to college, but you go to college to graduate. You go to college to graduate. So don't get charged for not graduating. It doesn't make sense to have to pay $20,000 to a university or to a bank for a degree that you do not possess. I can't stress that enough. If you pay that price, you get that prize. If you pay that price, you get that prize. So if you have to take out student loans, or if you have to work, study, or do whatever you have to do it and graduate. Do it and graduate. So with that, I wanted to say have an incredible freshman year, or even if you want to share this with upperclassmen, because there's some upperclassmen out there that need to hear this as well. This is one of the 16 points that I have with my workshop called Conquering College from Orientation to Graduation. I do this at different places, so if you'd like more information, contact me at my website, alanjbryson.com, or at Instagram, Bryson Motivate, and let's talk, and possibly I could come to your university and do a full workshop on this actual topic. So have a great first year, ladies and gentlemen. Take care and walk in victory. And if you pay that price, you get that prize. Operation Graduation. Take care.